Hey, good afternoon. I'm Chad with Chiefs Chat with the guys. It's We're well into the playoffs right now, and I'll make another video on it. But I want to do a little recap at the end of the season. Um, you know, it's one of the worst seasons I've seen since the Mahomes era started. But you can't expect Look, I don't have no complaints, for the last almost decade here of Kansas City football, just simply for the fact that we went to 5 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. You just can't really complain about that. And, you just have, we've had, in order to get to a Super Bowl, I do believe that not only do you have to have everything go your way as far as injuries, everybody on the same page, some continuity on the team, but I also believe that you get the lucky bounces, and that goes for any team. The breaks, the lucky bounces go your way. For prime example, the Texans, when CJ had fumbles and stuff and still had stuff go their way. That normally doesn't happen, and they still won. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So, with that being said, injuries, Travis Kelce's hitting worthy, our new tackle, Simmons, had some family things go on. He's out for 4 weeks, and he comes back and hurts his hand. I mean, just a weird season. And then your special teams committing all those penalties. I've never seen anything like that. It's crazy. They can't block to save their lives, or they like to hold. And then Mahomes getting hurt. That really sucks, because I didn't want that to happen. Just little things like that. Well, they're not little things, but it's a major thing if one of your star players gets hurt, or any of your players get hurt. And then everybody just being really banged up. Offensive line was jacked up. So let's start out with that. So you have to go to the Super Bowl, you have to have all those breaks, remain relatively healthy. And then, let's say the offensive line, for example. You have a good offensive line, but if you get 2 of them hurt, then you have to do a makeshift line. And is your backups any good? And I would say that most of our backups are not good. Then you get in your third string guys from the practice squad, and you're really not going to go anywhere with those guys, probably, especially if your star quarterback is hurt. So, draft or free agency, those guys need to get healthy, and then you need to replace your right tackle with somebody, and then add depth that if that guy goes out, they can stay in there 2 or 3 games, and you can possibly still win. Because a big part of the problem is, if you go against somebody like the Houston Texans, with their defensive line, if you can't hold them, which they're hard to hold, I don't care who you have at quarterback, it's going to be an issue. So we need to really think about that. And not only is it, the offensive line, with your backup depth and your first string players, it's got to have a running game to keep them honest. And I know Andy Reid, everybody talks about it, that knows how Andy Reid is. Everybody knows. All, the YouTubers Chiefs Kingdom YouTubers and in all the NFL, people know that Andy doesn't like to run the ball. He's a pass-happy coach. And it, works most of the time, but when you play these teams they can just put 4 up front, and you don't have to do a lot of blitzes, but they can still create havoc in the backfield, then you have to start running the ball to keep them from rushing as much. And not only that, keep Patrick Mahomes upright and not always on his ass and getting hurt. Okay? So now, I would say starting this year is his second. Tom Brady had his second career, or second surge, or back end of his career. Now, this Mahomes, either this year or next year, is going to start his back end of his career. And you want to be able to have a running back that can that can take some of the pressure off him. You can't have him constantly be bailing you out, because eventually it's wear and tear, and eventually people are going to figure it out. Well, all we have to do is, they're not going to run the ball very much, is just rush. We can do with our front 4 because their offensive line, they're easy to beat. So you got to get it to where, your offensive line can handle that. And not only that, Patrick, you got to put some new wrinkles in your offense too, because Patrick likes to, and the reason he takes, some of it's him too, he likes to grip back in a pocket and buy extra time, because he does have a hell of an arm. The only problem is, if these receivers don't get open, then you're getting hit, you're taking extra hits. In the comment below, tell me if you think Patrick Mahomes should be more under center and have a play-action fake offense, or just add new wrinkles onto this offense with better players. I mean, of course you need better players, but do you think that's what the problem is? You just need better players on offensive line? Or do you think it's both? You need to just change the offense. Run first, then pass. I'm thinking a little bit more run. But you have to have the running back that can see the hole and shift over and take off. I mean, I watching the playoffs, and I'm seeing, Jacksonville's running back. I'm seeing, even the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, man, that guy, I wish we would have got him. Waits for that hole, and he hits it, and at least gets 7 yards, and if he breaks one, he breaks one. Pacheco really doesn't do that. And then Cream used to do that. He just don't have the speed anymore. Good for short yardage. Didn't see enough of Rashard Smith, but he could. He could do it, So, anyways. So you have the offensive line, you have the offense, receivers. Rashid Rice. Is any of those rumors true about what happened with his ex? Don't know. Is that going to be a problem? Could be. So that's another thing to think about. You get these receivers to run clean and crisp routes to get open, for the quarterback. Because they didn't do it this year at all. Hardly. Worthy. Capable of being a good receiver, good number 2 or 3. But he needs to quit going out of bounds. And I wonder if that has to do with his injury. He doesn't want to take certain shots. So we'll see if that changes this coming season. Is Patrick Mahomes coming back on the first game? And if he isn't, then what quarterback are we going to have? Look, they better think about that too. Because what if he comes back 3 or 4 games after? Don't know. Don't really know. I haven't heard nothing to indicate either way. Like, I think he's a hell of an athlete, so he has a good chance to come back. But he's not, he's going to just slide right in there and play the first game. Which, if he's healed up and he's clear, he probably will. But if he's not, then what quarterback are you going to have come in here and try to help us win games while he's out? That's an issue in itself. Another issue is, what are they waiting for? Offensive coordinator. Are they waiting for Bieniemy and the Bears? In fact, I'm going to go for the Bears. Go Bears. By the way, go Bears. The Eagles are not in it. But, yeah, that's another issue. What are they waiting for? Are they waiting for everything this season just to be over so they have leverage, they have more picks? Because they were showing statistics of Bieniemy and Nagy, and even though we know Andy Reid calls the plays, Bieniemy, if he sees something stupid, he'll call it out. He'll hold people accountable. It's kind of like the drill sergeant. Hey, come on, And you don't see that with Nagy. You don't see him get your head out of your butt. Let's go. I want to say something else, but so I say at least with Bieniemy that it's that way, and that's probably why Patrick's numbers were up, where the receivers were catching the ball, all that stuff. And then you have Travis Kelce. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? A lot of people think he should retire, or some people, not a lot. Some people think he should come back. I'm like mixed feelings, but I would say that I'm hoping that we'll have a better season this season and be back and saddled again and be in there and be just as dangerous as ever. And I'd rather Travis go out that way than he did this season. So that would be the reason I'd want him to come back and pad his stats a little bit and possibly win another Super Bowl. So all those little things, this is just a little recap. I'll do some more videos as soon as I find out some more information, but I am going to do another video on the playoffs. So, below, do you think Travis Kelce should come back? Do you think he will, or do you think he should retire and just enjoy the 3 rings that he has? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, go Chiefs.